Please note that no AI, colorization or digital enhancement has been applied to my personal archive of original postcards, photographs, slides and negatives featured on this YouTube channel. The Five Ways shopping centre was built behind this row of shops that fronted what was a narrower Islington Road. These properties, along with the rest of this side of the thoroughfare, were bulldozed in the early 1960s. Featuring Dutch gables and elegant windows, these red brick buildings with terracotta dressings form part of a planned development that created a stylish shopping parade. This image shows the shops numbered 7 to 19. Note the borough constituency and ward boundary running along the centre of the road, a dividing line between Ladywood and Edgbaston. The National Provincial Bank on the corner of Broad Street had a boundary stone marking the division between Birmingham and Edgbaston. On this day, July 27, 1957, a woman was window dressing at Percy Whittaker's, a house furnishings emporium at number 7. Shoppers at this business may have nipped next door, as it was the retail premises of the house decorator William Brecknell. The latter was a long-established business that occupied these premises way back to the Edwardian period. The proprietor commuted into town from his home in Calthorpe Road in Edgbaston. The butchery business of Reginald Ernest Neal occupied 2 retail units at numbers 11 and 13 Islington Row. 2 of the firm's vans can be seen parked outside, the older vehicle featuring the slogan, "Orders delivered with pleasure," painted on the back doors. The accommodation upstairs was not generally occupied by the people running the shops, though there were a few retailers who did utilise the upper floors. The son of a blacksmith, Reginald Ernest Neal, spent his formative years on Alum Rock Road at Saltley. He was trading at number 11 in 1940, though he lived with his wife Eileen in Yardley and Castle Bromwich. Next to the butcher's shop was the P.D.S.A, the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals for Birmingham. This veterinary charity was established in 1917 by Maria Elizabeth Dickin, C.B.E. During the Second World War, the P.D.S.A also had dispensaries at 134A Soho Hill and 267 Lichfield Road at Aston. During the Edwardian period, this retail unit was occupied by the dressmaker Albert Fazy. He would later trade in New Street, where he specialised in fur coats made with black Russian musquash. The later use of this shop by the P.D.S.A perhaps helped to compensate for the trade once conducted on the premises. At the time of this photograph, Reginald and Francis Baker were living above the premises. To the right, trading as broadly, was a shop selling confectionery, cigarettes, newspapers and magazines. The window display featured a stack of sweet jars and women's periodicals. This shop had traditionally operated as a bookstore with a printing business. During the Edwardian period, Arthur Delacour Woodhouse was the bookseller occupying the premises. By the Second World War, the shop was an outlet for the printing business of Arnold R. Martin & Co. This image shows the shops numbered 21 to 31 Islington Row, a little further down the hill from Five Ways. These are highlighted on this contemporary map extract. The public house on the corner of Tennant Street was the Anchor Inn. The redevelopment resulted in the loss of this fine old pub. Integrated into the new concrete Goliath was a bar called the Crusader, a poor replacement for the historic tavern. I will do another video specifically for the Anchor Inn. Behind the van is the shop of Arthur Joseph Wilton, who was listed as a leather goods manufacturer. The van was possibly associated with Lovell's, the blind for which states, "Lovell's for choice fruit and flowers." Trading at number 27 Islington Row, Robert Lovell had been here for a good number of years. Living above the shop were Kenneth and Margaret Carruthers. Next door to Lovell's there was a very famous name associated with Birmingham. The shop unit looks like a trade entrance for the Consul factory to the rear. The business was started by Christian Consul, a Swiss-born businessman and philanthropist who devoted much of his time and fortune to helping sick children. In 1935 he gave a chateau in the town of his birth for use as an alpine home for sick people. Many children suffering from asthma and other lung complaints were sent to Switzerland for the clean mountain air, where the great majority of them showed improved health. Christian Kunzel also served as a president of the Birmingham Children's Hospital. The entrepreneur arrived in Britain during the late Victorian period and built up one of the country's largest confectionery and catering businesses. He was 17 when he went for work for his uncle, a pastry cook in Oxford. He learned his craft and went on to work in the kitchens at the Palace of Westminster. He later recollected that his milky rice puddings were favoured by the Prime Minister Lord Salisbury. He later worked at the Grand Hotel in London. After seeking some financial assistance from Switzerland, he established his own enterprise in Birmingham, opening a modest bakehouse on Snow Hill, which serviced his first shop, located in the Midland Arcade. The business grew quickly, and from a new base here at Five Ways, his confectionery goods developed a widespread reputation. Helped by his son Ernest and grandson George, the company developed a chain of restaurants in the Midlands and London. Christian Kunzel died at his Edgbaston home in January 1954. 600 people filled Edgbaston Old Church for the funeral service. I imagine that the redevelopment of Five Ways forced the move of the firm to the outskirts of Birmingham. In 1960, a new factory was built at Garrett's Green and became a major employer in the newly developed urban area. However, the firm was taken over by Fuller's, who in turn were bought out by Scribbens Kemp 4 years later. Soon after this, the business was acquired by Lyons. For some years, Lyons produced some of the much-loved Kunzel brands, particularly the legendary showboats. This is the view of Five Ways Shopping Centre and Auchinleck House amid the large-scale redevelopment of Islington Row and the traffic junction once overseen by the statue of Joseph Sturge. And all for the motor car. While most European cities were upgrading their public transport networks, the UK was hell-bent on the destruction of huge swathes of land so that people could get around by car. The joke in this case being that it resulted in one huge traffic jam. All of the shop premises on the northeastern side of Islington Row were removed in order to create a wider road for Herbert Manzoni's mandate in which car was king. The tower block was named after Field Marshal Sir Claude Auchinleck, a significant figure in Britain's dubious legacy within India and the Middle East. Thanks for viewing and listening to my blurb. You can post your comments below, particularly if they will enhance the information for other viewers. You can also click on the subscribe button to receive a message when a new video is uploaded.